Very warm welcome. You're watching Times Now with me, Priya Behel. The story that we are focusing on comes from Karnataka, where the Congress government's decision to divert funds that were earmarked for SC and ST welfare to support its flagship guarantee schemes has triggered a fierce political war. This, remember, started a few months ago. The Sarkar went ahead with its plan nonetheless and has been using 28% of SC/ST funds, which amounts to over 14,700 crores. In the latest development, an SC/ST welfare panel has submitted a report on the fund usage, suggesting a cap on spending. The Legislative Committee on SC and ST Welfare submitted a report to Karnataka Assembly in the recently concluded winter session, and it has recommended that the government should use only 24.1% of the funds instead of current 28%. This means that instead of 14,730 crore rupees, the recommended funds stand at 12,532 crores. It has to be noted here that the total expenditure on the state exchequer is around 52,000 crore rupees, and the decision to divert welfare funds meant for SC subplan and ST subplan was taken after the government faced financial challenges to keep its flagship schemes afloat. Now, what are these flagship schemes that we are talking about? Remember, these were the promises that were made by the Congress party before it came to power in the state. It includes the Grah Lakshmi scheme, which promises 2,000 rupees to every female head of family. The total cost to the exchequer for this scheme stands roughly at around 17,500 crore rupees. Then there is the Anna Bhagya scheme, which makes provisions for 10 kilograms of rice for every member of below the poverty line family. The price tag for this is 10,275 crore rupees. There is the Grah Jyoti scheme, which accounts for 200 units of free electricity to every household, pegged at 9,000 crore rupees. Shakti, the free bus ticket scheme for women across Karnataka, which costs the state exchequer 2,800 crore rupees. Yuva Nidhi, the unemployment announcement for graduates and diploma holders, that comes to 250 crores. Now, the report that has been submitted by this panel has reignited political war of words between the Congress and the BJP. Defending fund diversion, Congress leaders say that it was their party itself that had come up with the idea of separate funds for SC and ST community. They are also saying that the state government will examine the recommendations that have been submitted by the panel. The BJP leaders, meanwhile, are hitting back at Congress, questioning why is government diverting funds meant for the welfare of scheduled castes and scheduled tribes to fulfill the poll promises when the government allocated 52,000 crore rupees for it.
They might have given the observation. The fact of the matter is the funds in the budget reserved to the tune of the population of the SC/STs through an act was brought in by the Congress party's government last time. We have reserved that funds to the tune of the population to the SC/ST communities, and we are using it for the welfare of the same community. When their government was there, the BJP government was there, they have diverted the SC/ST community welfare fund for other developmental projects. That we are not doing. The same money is going back to them. If they say 2-3% you have to reduce when you use it for the guarantees, our government can definitely examine it.
Actually, in many occasions, I have raised this issue in the outside and inside the house. But they are giving a wrong figures. See, they are telling that 52,009 crores we are using for guarantees. That is kept in the budget. Once you using so much amount, why you took from 25,000 crore from CPTSP? This is my question to this government. They are not giving a good answer for this. Means whatever the committee has given a report now, it is true.
Deepak now joins us for more details. Deepak, tell us more about Rizwan Arshad's allegation that this 28% expenditure that was happening, the diversion that was happening from SC/ST welfare funds, was also happening under the BJP.
Well, all of this boils down to the fact that here in Karnataka, along with very few states in the country, there is a separate provision in their budget every year, and this is for the SC/ST community overall. And usually this money as a corpus is used for various developmental activities pertaining to the community. what Rizwan Arshad here says is that this was something that was started by the Congress party in the past, and the BJP in the past used these funds for other developmental activity, and this was not limited to the community alone. As far as his claim is concerned, he says that as far as the Congress's usage of this fund is concerned, though it is for the guarantees, it is based on the assessment of the population and the SC/ST members who are beneficiaries of these guarantees. That's the rationale with which they are using these funds. This is the explanation that has come in the past. Now, the latest here is the legislative committee of SC/ST, which has submitted its report, which has gone on to say that, well, you're using about 28% of the entire corpus meant for SC/STs for the guarantees, but you please use only about 24%. So reduce it by 4% is what they have said. If you heard what Mr. Arshad says, he says that the government will examine it based on this report that has now been submitted. They're of course raising some issues. For example, now you have the free bus travel scheme. How do you really analyze, how many people from the SC/ST community are actually using this particular scheme? That means they're boarding the women who are boarding the bus. Or for example, people who are using the free electricity scheme. Now, how do you really assess which are the people who are from the SC/ST community, and then how do you earmark funds separately from the corpus? So these are the challenges that lie. Now, of course, this committee pointing out that they need to use lesser than they currently are. We'll really have to see in the future whether the government will adhere to this particular report.
All right, now that is the political face-off that is ongoing in Karnataka now. Both BJP and Congress blaming the other party for diversion of funds meant for SC/ST welfare. Thank you, Deemak, for joining us with those details. We shift our focus to Uttar Pradesh now, where amidst the ongoing showdown over the ASI survey in Sambhal, a fascinating discovery has emerged. An ancient stepwell believed to be over a century old has been unearthed during an excavation drive conducted by the ASI. Located in the Lakshmanganj area of Chandosi, this stepwell is estimated to be 125 to 150 years old and built around an impressive 400 square meters. The excavation started on December 21st, and officials say that this stepwell was built during the reign of King of Bellary. What's really fascinating about these recent findings is the stunning mixed design of marble and brick construction with 4 chambers that showcase the incredible craftsmanship of that time. Here's a look at what ASI has uncovered.
Right now I'm here inside the stepwell that was discovered by excavation team 2 days back while they were digging this area. During their process, they were able to discover this stepwell that is spread over 400 square meters. Let me show you. This stepwell has got 3 stories. First story, there is marble is being used, and here you can see the concrete is being used. The importance and significance of the stepwell is that this was constructed by forefathers of King of Bellary. And let me show you, look at this. It looks like a tunnel-like structure, but basically these are the compartments where actually the soldiers used to hide, and they used to use this stepwell as their transit point and keep check of the movement of invaders here in this area. Let me go further deep inside. See, it looks like a tunnel-like structure. But what the authorities are saying that this is not basically the tunnel. Maybe they are further digging. It looks like a tunnel-like structure. And here you can see the deeper we go, and these are basically the compartments where the soldiers used to hide and keep check over the movement of invaders. And it has got the 3 stories. The first 2 stories, you can see the marble is there, and then here the brickwork is being done. And the excavation is still continuing. The digging process is still continuing here in this area. Let me show you further things. And see, this basically, if you talk about this stepwell, this construction work is in semicircular form. It's in semicircular form, and still the digging process is going on. अभी तक क्या-क्या दिखा है इसमें?
इसमें भैया अभी ये कोठी दिखा रहे हैं, पुराने जमाने की कोठी है, 3 मंजिला नीचे है, अभी 28 फुट और नीचे है, अभी 6 फुट खुद चुकी है. अभी पता नहीं क्या निकले, अभी तो फिलहाल ये मट्टी और रोड़ा निकल रहा है, जिसमें हाथ चलाने में बहुत परेशानी आ रही है.
अच्छा, तो यहाँ क्या-क्या है अभी?
अभी एक कोठी है, घूमती भी कोठी है, आप देख लीजिए, आपको दिख रहा है, पुराना कोठी है.
To revive rich cultural heritage of Sambhal, Yogi Adityanath government is making all-out efforts to unearth hidden historical sites of Hindus. Idea is basically to reclaim and restore ancient past of this region. And not only that, this way they will also be promoting Sanatan Sanskriti. And in the process of doing so, they have already discovered temple, they have already discovered Rani Ki Bawdi. Not only administration, even people are coming forward in identifying many of the historical sites. And the place right now I'm standing, this is called Prithviraj Chauhan Ki Bawdi. Prithviraj Chauhan was the last ruler of Delhi in 12th century. He is said to have fought two fierce battles with Ghazi Masood, who was nephew of Muhammad Ghaznavi. In both the battles, in first battle he defeated Masood. And it was during that period this Bawdi was constructed. Look at the structure of this Bawdi. You will find those hidden structures, and then on the other side there is a well also. The idea was basically that this area, also known as Chaman, was a garrison town for Prithviraj Chauhan.
Now remember, what was the trigger of all these discoveries? There was an excavation drive, there was also an anti-encroachment drive, there was a electricity meters checkup drive that was started right after the violence that broke out outside the Jama Masjid Mosque in Sambhal. As far as investigation regarding that violence which took place on November 24th during the second survey of the Shahi Jama Masjid is concerned, the police are still conducting multiple raids in connection with those clashes. 5 more people have been arrested so far, and the hunt to apprehend remaining rioters continues. Authorities are leaving no stones unturned to connect the dots. The latest angle being explored is whether there was mass mobilization that led to the violence that took place on the 24th of November and ended up killing 4 people in Sambhal. With regards to that, an FSL team was at the site of violence yesterday.
It has been 1 month since devastating violence erupted in Sambhal area of Uttar Pradesh. 4 precious lives were lost and many others were critically injured. Right now I am in same area, the rear side of this mosque. It was from this lane where from the stone pelting started. This was epicenter of violence on that very day while the survey was conducted inside Jama Masjid Mosque. Survey team was about to leave, and that was the time when pelters came from this side. They started pelting stones. About hundreds of stones were hurled on police personnel. Not only that, in the meantime, somebody from within the mob opened fire, because of which 4 precious lives were lost and many others were injured. Some of the bullets also hit police personnel. And this was the place where one of the vehicle was set ablaze and another vehicle was set ablaze here. Police had a really tough time. The ding-dong battle between the rioters and the police continued for about 3 to 4 hours. Finally, after 4 hours, they were able to control mob. But by then, many people were injured and things were not same. Finally, you can see the heavy police personnel and the additional reinforcement was called.
Pradeep Datta now joins us from the site of action. Pradeep, what kind of evidence is the FSL team looking at, and what is it that they are trying to establish now?
See, 4-member FSL team with the ballistic experts were here in Sambhal area. They've been to the crime site where actual stone pelting took place and where from the firing started. And they also had been told that one of the empty cartridge was made in Pakistan Ordnance Factory and the other empty cartridge was made in United States of America. So they are trying to find out where from they got the weapon. They also went to those houses where from the stone pelting was continuing, where from the police personnel on that very day on November 24th they were targeted. So they took pictures with the help of the laser beam. Also they were trying to measure the distance, and they also were trying to find out where actually the police personnel got bullet injury while they were performing their duty trying to control mob. But one thing is quite clear, that there was a mobilization. Already it was a pre-planned conspiracy. They were well prepared because they had already collected bricks in that area, and somebody with the weapon were in that particular place when all of a sudden from within the mob they opened fire that led to death of 4 people and many others were injured, which included police personnel. And it has been found with the help of the CCTV footage that many of them were covering their faces so that their identity is not known to police personnel who were on duty. And they also tried to destroy more than 200 to 300 CCTV cameras installed in that particular place, but some of the CCTV cameras were able to capture the visual. It is because of that reason that today the 5 more people have been arrested during multiple raids at different places here in Sambhal region. So right now investigation is on. FSL team already has collected enough evidence. They are trying to find out what really had happened happened, what kind of bullets were used, what kind of ammunition was used, and where from actually they had been pelting stone, what led to injury. And they're also trying to look into other things also. But so far as investigation part is concerned, we have seen that more than 40 people were arrested earlier. Now the number had gone up to 45, and still about 100 people are said to be absconding, and police is on toll. They are trying to collect all sort of evidence.
The investigation might be ongoing. It's been a month since the violence took place, as Pradeep was telling us, but the politics over this issue hasn't stopped ever since. The latest to react to this matter is Avdesh Prasad of the Samajwadi Party. They have been consistently accusing the BJP of communalizing the matter.
काफी दिनों से देश स्तर पर चर्चा में है। संभल समूचे देश को आपसदारी भाईचारा का पैगाम देता था। भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार ने और उनके अधिकारियों ने संभल में इस भाईचारा आपसदारी का जो माना जाना इतिहास है उसको मिटाने का काम किया। समाज
Time for us to take a very quick break. All the latest updates on the other side. Thank you, Pradeep.